Good day, and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poo, and welcome to day 34 of a year of change. Today we're going to talk about something that sort of hit me a couple of nights ago. I was out with a friend of mine having coffee, and at the time, it was still relatively early in the evening, about 8 or 9 o'clock, and I hadn't really eaten anything since breakfast. It just had sort of finished work and gone out and grabbed a coffee with him. But as the night went on, of course, we tend to have a long conversation when we're having coffee, so I'll stay out for 2 or 3 hours. And by the end of the night, I found that I was just really exhausted and just wanted to grab something quick and go home. Changing schedules can be really disorienting to begin with, combined with the fact that it's almost a complete 24-hour reversal as to what I was doing before, and it just crept up on me. So, where I was, I had tons of calories left for the day. Well over 1,000. So I started looking around, and just from my car in the parking lot, I could see a Subway, a McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, I think, was there. Or no, that one's closed. Never mind. A fish and chips place, grocery store. They're just surrounded. So, of course, at that stage, you're tired, you're exhausted, you don't want to come home and cook, and so you start contemplating, thinking, well, I have enough if I get this, if I get that. And it just sort of dawned on me that that's sort of very easy to slip into. I mean, a lot of you out there are probably in the same boat where you simply, it's not a matter of being able to go out and spend 2 or 3 hours with a friend of yours and then realize, oh, the night's gone away and I haven't had time. A lot of you just don't have the time in your day to eat properly, to prepare things that you should, to get things going that way. So whether you have kids or it's your work schedule, so that when you finally do get home, you have like an hour or two, maybe, where you have some time where you can just sit back and relax and unwind from the day. I get it. But in this situation, what I started looking at was the fact that it is so much easier to just go and grab something. Even at the grocery store, it would have been so much easier for me to grab a frozen pizza and throw it in the oven and then just sit and wait. Or go to McDonald's or go to Subway or whatever it is. In the end, you'll be happy to know, I came home, had a frog in my throat. I came home and prepared something, and saved myself probably 500 or 600 calories, which doesn't sound like a lot, but basically, this is one of those things that is going to call for a little bit more sacrifice on your part when we start in on this stuff, because although you can say, I just don't have the time, even to prepare something quickly takes 20-30 minutes to do. Unless you're grabbing something quick like a sandwich or something like that. But if you go to, and this is assuming that, from the time you get home and you have time to start cooking as opposed to just being out and being able to pick something up. It is much easier, it is much faster, and at times it can be cheaper to just go that route. But the problem is that's what got us where we are. Not necessarily that it's a bad thing. I mean, once in a while you're going to have to do it, which is fine. But I think it's going to come to a point where eventually at some point, in my case, I ended up saying, no, I have to go home. I will take the extra 20 minutes and prepare something, as tired as I am, because it's not going to be this easy all the time. It's been fairly easy for the past 3 or 4 weeks, where we've just sort of been keeping under our goals, and as long as we don't go over that, we're probably okay. For some of you, the condiments may have sort of added to that. And as you're tracking fluids now, but not adding to it, you're going to see that as we start changing things up, then you're going to need to sort of tweak your diet that way. So, but I'm sort of getting off topic already. But in this situation, it's going to be one of those things that it is going to be it's going to be something that we give into this. It can't all be something that, this is really easy and it's not going to be a struggle at all. We knew when we started this that there were going to be some things that we're going to have to sort of push through. When we start exercising, even though it's going to be very, very minimal, some of you are going to have a hard time with that. When we talked about different things you can do at your job, even just going up one flight of stairs, that's something you're going to have to push through. Stuff like that, that if we are going to make these changes, we also have to put in order for us to get out. So in situations like that, if you say, okay, I don't have time, whether you have kids and you need to get them home, get them fed, and get everything done, at the very least, take those moments and try to make a better choice than what you can. If you have a bunch of different options available to you, pizza isn't actually that bad in comparison to a lot of other stuff. If I was going to go for something that night, I probably would have gone for something at Subway or the fish and chips place, which is oddly less than Subway in some cases. How I get my sub, anyway. But in those situations, it is a lot easier to get something for the family and just say, because you're too tired. And I get it. Again, there are some people that you will come home, you get everything done, and then you just pass out for the night. And then you go and you do it again and again and again. But when it comes to ourselves, even if this isn't for the rest of your family, I would strongly urge you to take that time, take those 15 minutes or 20 minutes, even when other people are eating, and try to prepare something, if you can. And again, I don't want this to turn into something that, oh, no, everyone can do this, because they simply can't. There are going to be some people that literally don't have that extra 30 minutes in the run of a day until 11 or 12 at night. And by then, you're so exhausted that you don't even care, you don't want to eat, so you just go to bed. Or worse yet, you grab something quick and then you go to bed. Which I did the other night, but it was an apple, so it was fine. But it was a huge apple. It's the size of a grapefruit. Anyway, trying to stay on topic here. But again, one of these things is, as we're going through this, it's best to try to make the most out of what we can do. So, or out of what is available to us, I should say. So if you are in that situation where it's just a matter of being tired, stay up the extra 20 minutes, stay up the extra half hour, prepare yourself something that's going to be a lot easier on you. It's going to be, even if it's not less calories, if it's better for you than just regular junk food, because again, it's going to be very easy to sort of slide back into that and say, well, I had fast food the other day. It's quick, it's easy, and I didn't go over my points. So 2-3 days later, you do it again. And then it happens again and again. And believe me, I know, because this is how how it happens. We start sort of backsliding and going back into our old eating habits. And it's not going to be long before you're going twice a week, 3 times a week, twice a day, and getting to that point where you stop tracking, or you've gone over, but you lie a little bit and you tweak your numbers and stuff like that. So it's very important to stay on track with this. And again, although there are going to be some times where it simply can't be helped, rather than going somewhere and getting the worst possible choice that you can get takeout from somewhere else. As long as it's, if you're looking for something that's going to be very quick, instead of looking at something and saying, okay, well, I can get Kentucky Fried Chicken with fries and gravy and everything else, go to Subway, or don't get salads at fast food places. I think right from day one, everyone has pretty much known that how they prepare their salads, you have just as many calories as you do in their burgers, so you might as well get a burger. But if you have a place in your town where it's not necessarily a fast food place, maybe it is a takeout restaurant, where they prepare stuff that you enjoy, don't go and say, I'm going to have a garden salad for takeout, and then hate yourself and hate eating it all throughout the meal. But if you have some place that you really enjoy that you can go to, and then go there. There's a pizza place near me where pizza isn't great. Garlic fingers are very good. But the main reason why I go there is they make a really, really, really good Caesar salad. And although it's still very fattening because of the sauces and everything, in the long run, it's much better than having garlic fingers or pizza or fast food or anything else. Caesar salad is one of those things that's not that hard to prepare. It takes 10 minutes to get everything taken care of once you buy it. But on those nights when I really am craving it, that's where I'll go, which is really odd for a pizza place to have any good salad. But if you can find a spot like that, someplace that is good, that is quick enough that you can go to and have that be your go-to place. I'm not trying to alienate, Kentucky Fried Chicken or McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's or wherever. Wendy's. But if we're going to be doing this through the next year, there are going to be things that we're going to have to say, no, I'm going to make a different choice. And this is one of them. Not necessarily just against fast food. This is where the sort of conversation has been going, is anti-fast food, and I'm not anti-fast food at all. It's just that in my particular situation, when I was sitting there, I'm looking at all the different options, and it was just a matter of saying, no, I'll stay awake for an extra 20 minutes, and although I was tired, I'm going to go home and prepare myself something properly. And by the time I got home, and it's 15 or 20 minutes to get everything taken care of, and save myself hundreds of calories through the run of a day, I was still going to bed at the same time. It's just that I was tired from the day. But it's just sort of a matter of, well, yeah, I'm going to sit and watch TV for 2 or 3 hours, probably. I'll just take 20 minutes of that, and as tired as I'm going to be, and as tired as you will be, push through it. Prepare yourself something. It doesn't have to be a salad. It doesn't have to be a rice cake with air on it. It can be something good, something that you enjoy. Just one of those little tweaks that we can do to prevent ourselves from sort of sliding back once again. And again, you're over a month in at this stage, so you're probably going to stick with us. But it's very easy, especially now, to say, well, I've done this for a month. I can reward myself. And we haven't gotten to that point yet. You can reward yourself if you want, but just make sure it's something reasonable. Don't go overboard and eat a tub of ice cream or icing. Just try to stay on target as much as we can. And we've said it before, there are going to be days when we sort of slip. There are going to be days when we go over, but we just go back in and start again the next day, and you should be fine. And there are going to be times that there's going to be more than enough temptation to sort of backslide. We'll talk about this tomorrow, actually, because I had the same... No, we'll talk about it now. Screw it. Yesterday at work, they've moved us down to the first floor for the time being, they served 3 separate cakes over 2 days. They were celebrating something. Don't worry, I didn't have any. I didn't eat a bucket of icing, didn't blow my nose, and none of that good stuff. But, of course, everyone around me was having cake, and I'm not a big fan of eating in public. I'm not a big fan of eating anything from work, because God knows where they got it. God knows who sneezed on it. But the food was there, obviously, where a lot of people would say, no, I have to get some. So there are going to be moments like that when you have that temptation. And fast food is one of those. If you're at work and you only have half an hour, you haven't had time to prepare anything the night before, it's very easy to go and grab something at, I was going to say McDonald's again. Screw it. I'll say it because it's the only one that I can think of. That you can go to McDonald's or Burger King or something like that and grab something very, very quick and not really pay attention. And then at the end of the day, you're adding everything up and you realize you've gone over. Now, again, this isn't to go against fast food. Ideally, if that is one of those things that you run the risk of doing, grab the little nutritional pamphlets that they have when next time you're there, and go through it so that if you find that you do have to go there, that something's happened, some idiot asshole at work has stolen your lunch, which happens way too often, or you just haven't had time to prepare it, things like that, that you can go, you'll have a go-to menu that you can look at and say, okay, if I'm going here, then this is what I'll get. It's not the greatest, but it's a lot better than some of their other menu items. Even that little change is going to help. But primarily this was sort of originally started to be one of those, if you're tired, and just be careful of saying, I want to get something quick and easy because I'm tired, rather than quick and easy because I need to, because of time constraints. If it's a matter of just being tired, push through it if you can. And obviously if you're sick or if you've got 8 kids, then you're not going to be able to do this. But for the majority of you out there, if it is just a matter of being tired, push through it. Take the 20 minutes that it's going to take to prepare something properly. Stop at the grocery store and grab something from there. it is going to make a difference, and it is another one of those tiny little things that we can change that's going to help us stay on track and get us to where we want to be in a year from now or 11 months from now at this stage. Which just sounds weird. It sounds like it's going... It doesn't feel like it's been 5 weeks. It feels like it's sort of going ahead, and I feel like I'm not going quick enough, but I'm going to stay on the same track that we're going on. Because, again, it's not a matter of weight loss, thankfully, because I haven't lost a whole lot. It's just more of a matter of changing how we think. And I think part of this is that laziness, on my part anyway, where it was just going to be easier for me to get something. So I've repeated myself so many times in this I can't even begin to count. So I'm going to leave this video here for you. But thank you very much for watching. And if I'm going to try that one more time, I apologize. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, please poke the like button for me. In the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.